All right, everybody, welcome back to the ONSIDE podcast. This season, we're taking a deeper dive into women's entrepreneurship in Canada, and we're highlighting women entrepreneurs and leaders who are working to make the startup ecosystem here more inclusive and really driving change. These fireside chats are being brought to you as part of our ONSIDE Start Now Incubator project, which supports diverse and intersectional women across Canada to start and grow their businesses. And I'm your host, Alex McCann, and we are so excited to be having Constanza Safatle Ferrari joining us. She is the CEO and founder of Newborn Lander. She's a passionate entrepreneur and advocate who is dedicated to empowering immigrants and driving social impact. Constanza's company, Newborn Lander, is a successful for-profit social enterprise specializing in slow fashion and accessories for babies, and is committed to creating employment opportunities for newcomer women while promoting sustainable and ethical practices. But there is more. She has also been a delegate with Canada to the G20 Young Entrepreneurs Group. She's an inspired immigrant woman from 2023 We Care Foundation and the winner of the Tales of Triumph 2023 from Canada Post, which I did watch, which was excellent, and many, many other things. She also was a participant on Dragon's Den in 2023 and securing an opportunity to pitch and seek partners for her business at Newborn Lander. So Constanza, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Alex.
We're so excited to have you here, and I'm in the studio, and you're in Newfoundland. Today in Halifax, it's feeling a bit like Newfoundland. It was a bit rainy and dreary today, a little overcast for this time of year, but not to worry. We're really looking forward to learning more about Newborn Lander, and I'm curious about how you decided to move from Chile to Newfoundland. Like, how did you decide to move hemispheres? We'll get to Newborn Lander, but how did you get to Newfoundland from Chile? What drove that?
Well, was my husband Thomas. We was really young at that time. He came here to Newfoundland to make an internship, and he came back with the idea to come back to Newfoundland, Canada, and which I thought like what could be interesting. I was 26 years old, 25 when he told me. So you're pretty young, pretty dreaming. Like, let's do it. And so that bring me here.
Interesting. And you've been in Newfoundland for a while. And what was your family like back in Chile? And what made you? Because I think you said that you had some background as a lawyer. And what drove you to kind of think about creating a company like Newborn Lander? And we'll get you to tell people what Newborn Lander is.
Yes. So, well, first of all, I back home, I was starting my career as a lawyer, as a commercial lawyer in the Bank of Chile. Before to work in the Bank of Chile, I used to go to the court to fight against the bank. and then they hired me to be in their side. So I was starting a really successful career, I think, and then moving here was totally unexpected, and to find what I found the time, to be honest, I believe that, and when you immigrate to Canada, especially when you have a professional background and you see this call from Canada, because also it is a call there from the country saying we need young people, we need lawyers, we need doctors, we need nurses. So I thought like, okay, let's do it. Why not? They are calling, we are young, professional, like, let's go and try. And so was pretty unexpected what I found, because I believe that you come, and I feel that it is a big part of accountability that I always think that Canada should be take when they make a call and they create expectations, and then what happened in the reality. So was a little pretty shocking time when I arrived, to be honest, to discover that I don't fit, that and when I say I don't fit, my immigration status don't fit at that time to allow to me to access to basics like learn English and to be able to find a job or get guidance in get a job. So to be honest, start a company was an answer, and I am sure that many immigrants can relate to this, to find a space for you and to show your skills in a way that can be valuable for the community. And that is what that is why I started my business, because I couldn't find a job that bring me joy, but also at the same time where I can explode my potential, who truly I am. And that's why I start my company. So it was unexpected. I start a company. That was a plan.
Uh-huh. So you come from Chile, you're with your husband and your family, and it's not quite what you were expecting. And you kind of had to make some decisions, it sounds like. What are you going to do? How are you going to, make yourself show up, and have a little bit of control over your life? Yeah, I think a lot of immigrants can relate to that. I'm an immigrant myself. I'm now a Canadian. I'm very proud about that. But yeah, being an immigrant is tough, and you're trying to figure out where you are and what you can contribute, because you feel you have a lot of things to contribute. So what was it that gave you the idea to create Newbornlander? I know you have kids, but how did that kind of come about?
Yeah, so well, first of all, when we moved here was just Thomas and me. And I have my children here. And when that happened, I was working at a Starbucks at that time. I will share that my experience working in a Starbucks, which was my first job, was amazing because I learned English there. So a friendly environment, friendly people. And so I learned English as a child learned. I just absorb it. I don't know the rules. I don't understand the verb to be yet. And so I just learned. And then I was in my maternity leave. And I decided, like, okay, I love Starbucks. However, I already know how to do coffee really well. And I want to do something else. I think I can give more. And so then I was like, okay, could be a business. I don't know about what. And then I remember I tried to find a bandana bib for my 4-month-old. I found one was really ugly, expensive, and not useful. And so I thought, like, you know what? This is a piece of triangle. I can do better. I mean, if I will do a bandana bib, I will put a towel in the back. I will put baby snap. I will choose a nice fabric. So, okay. So with the tips that I saved from Starbucks, I bought my first domestic machine, couple of fabrics, and I start to watch videos in YouTube to learn how to use a machine, because I never touched a sewing machine before. And I discovered, and I feel this is one of the amazing things for immigrants, I was able to discover that I have a great gift. I am a good designer and I am a good sewer, like really good. And was like, okay, then. So I will start to sell this at the farmer's market. And I remember the name of the company, which is amazing. I love it. Everyone love it. And was like, okay, so if you are in Newfoundland, you're a Newfoundlander. But we want to do things for babies. So babies, newborns. And then I started brainstorming in the kitchen of my house with my husband. And Thomas say, like, well, newborn, Newfoundlander, Newbornlander. And I was like, oh my God, that it is. That would be the name. And that is how Newbornlander started. And I love to say this because many entrepreneurs believe that you need to be an expert in the field, in the industry where you are trying to start something. And that is not true. You don't need to be an expert. You will need to polish yourself in the time, but I didn't know nothing about textile. I didn't know nothing about babies. I was a new mom. That was all. And all new moms can recall in that you don't know what you are doing. So was that state, like, and all that at that time, which was really vulnerable, really creative time, by the way, because as a new mom, you are solving problems every single day. You try it your best with love. And that is how I found, like, okay, will be a baby store. The name will be Newbornlander. I will start with the bandana beads. I will start to sell at the farmer's market. That was the starting point.
Interesting. That's interesting. I love how you just saw something and you were like, I can do this, or I can do this even better. And I love that you said that you just started like looking on YouTube on how to do things and figure it out, and that you didn't even know how to sew, and now you have this whole company.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to design either, and was a discovering for me when I realized that, oh, you can buy patterns and follow instructions. I didn't
Mm,
know, so I designed everything by myself, which was beautiful. And I feel that is one of the beauty when you don't know about industry. You set up everything under your values, under your guts, under your, and then you build something that everyone is like, so how you create a manufacturing in Newfoundland, and it is that sustainable, and you are transparent, and you have good quality products, like the supply chain,
mhm,
it is transparent, is good, like that is possible. And yes, how I did it, I just did it,
mhm,
and many people believe that that is not possible. It's not possible manufacturing in Canada. It's not possible, well, imagine in Newfoundland. It's not possible in manufacture with good quality products that are eco-friendly, and at the same time manufacturing in a way that is respectful for people that is behind the machine, and in a slow fashion. And it's like, oh yeah, all is possible, or I did it. Maybe if
mhm.
I will be super informed, I will say like, no, it's too hard. It is impossible, you know?
Mhm, mhm. It sounds like you came at Newborn Lander with we call it like a beginner's mind. Like you didn't know anything, so you weren't held back by anything. There was nothing constraining you from pursuing what you were interested in, learning a little bit more, trying a few more things. You weren't locked in to the patterns, that were probably laid out, previously or had been there before. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Well, what were some things like, yeah, you talked about, how you just tried some things, and you're talking about having the slow fashion and the respect for the for the women who are working for you. What were some things that surprised you about starting a business in Canada? Like, were there some things that you just weren't expecting? Like, what were some things that kind of surprised you? And then I want to ask you about some things that were some early wins. But first, I want to hear
Yeah.
about what surprised you.
Um, I feel, I think what was really powerful, to me to see, to prove, and to use was, the powerful tool that business are itself. I never realized such, the huge impact, not just only in myself, because I can tell you that I found healing in my company for my journey,
Mm,
and the impact in the life of the women that work here in New Borlander, and the impact in our community that
mm,
New Borlander create. And we advocate, and we lobbying with provincial government to remove a policy that, was, kind of blocking the opportunities for immigrants to incorporate their business if they don't have permanent resident.
mm,
When in the other hand, getting your permanent resident doing business, if somebody can tell me how many people do it, and it was, straightforward and easier, like, please let me know. And because it is not reasonable, let's say that.
mm,
And so then I cannot get my permanent resident doing business. But if I have a business, I cannot grow it because I cannot get my permanent resident,
mm,
which is crazy, because as a owner, as a business, I can provide the permanent resident for my employees, but to get the permanent resident to me, it is not reasonable. I mean,
mm,
it doesn't work. So we advocate a lot, and the change happened. They
mm,
remove a policy. And I will tell you, this is one of the beauties of Newfoundland and Labrador, and I will say about Atlantic Canada, probably, to live in spaces where get access to talk with politicians, with people in position of power, is possible. And many
mm,
times it's not that they don't want to, like, it's that they didn't know maybe about this concern and problem. And as soon as they learn, that was my experience. I don't think everyone is like that. I have the
mm,
lucky to talk with, the minister Sarah Stubbley, that, but the way today, she is the minister of immigration,
mm,
so I am a big fan there. And she learned, she advocated, she removed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was for me, like, okay, so Newfoundlander is powerful. Newfoundlander is speaking about problems and concerns, and we are making change and educating our customers. Our customers are 95% Canadians, right? Maybe more. And all of them relate to the problem. So I love that quote that say, it's not your fault, but it's your problem. And when people buy in New Borlander and understand who we are, they also understand that they are part of the solution. And we will not be solved the whole problems in immigration. I know not that, and I don't pretend we are not a superhero. I know that, but we can alleviate this problem. And I feel we are a good example in to employers. Again, I love to be a for-profit social
Mm-hmm.
enterprise because people believe that social enterprise is designed and born for non-for-profit. That is not true.
Mm-hmm.
Private need to play a role. This is not about money. We are a small business. Are always in New Borlander, the publicity that we had exceed the size of business that we are, and that is because the social component is so powerful that truly touch the community and the system as well. So that was my big realization of like, wow, New Borlander is not just a business, this is a platform of change.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. And I've known a few other entrepreneurs as well who maybe they came here, they were in school, they're not permanent residents, maybe they have a visa or something, they're trying to start a business. They're starting a business, but then they run into a roadblock because just like what you're saying, they couldn't get their permanent residence, and if they can't get their permanent residence, they can only stay for so long, and they can only grow the business so big. So I think that is a huge accomplishment, and kudos to you to be able to reach the people that could have an ear to listen to what the problem was that was preventing you from not only seizing your dreams and creating the company, but also by the policy change, you're helping other immigrants that are coming here trying to start businesses and grow businesses and contribute to the economy and hire people and all those kinds of things. And so I think that's really commendable. And you're absolutely right. I can see your passion about the social aspect of what you're doing in Newborn Lander, not just making products and selling them. Tell us a little bit about some of the women they're working with you. I know you have a passion around the folks that are on your team.
Yeah, so the women that work with us, they are in immigrant women's and refugee women's, and all of them was outside of the labor market. I feel so far I never hired someone with good English either. So when I started New Borlander, I was like, okay, so I didn't know how to sew, and now look at me, I am really good. I didn't know how to speak, and now look at me, I can speak English. So how? Well, working, every day working. Um, I believe that when you give the space and give the opportunity to others to show in their best version, it's nothing that can stop them, to continue believing in their self and believing
Mhm.
there is opportunities there. And that expectation, when I talk at the beginning, it is that the expectation that the country have, and I love Canada, and I love my province, and I wish that I hope that any other immigrant or refugee, and especially women, that I would say our journey is different than the
Mhm.
men's. We will get later the job when we need to stay at home with the children many times. And so our journey is totally different and more isolated. I hope none of them get the experience that I have,
Mhm.
where you don't feel worth it, where you don't feel capable, where you feel lost, where you feel that you are not anymore yourself, where the system put you a role. Like, you will not be anymore a lawyer here. You will be a cashier, you will make coffee, or you will clean. And I was like, okay, I mean, fair to start. But I ask about, put me in a position like in a law firm, put me there to clean or make coffee. I will figure out how to show myself and go up. But even that opportunity was like, no, it's like, you are not anymore that, forget that. So I hope to bring back, we have that expectation when we come, is not there. And what if I can offer that? And what if I can tell you, I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you don't speak English. I don't care if you don't know how to sew. I will teach you. And I try to take the values that this country have and put them here, and put them when we sell a hat or any product, go with that Canadian flag. I hope that people that touch that product and the people that work here can believe that this really reflects what is Canada, you know? And it is that experience that I hope to change in the life of that women's. Even if they move to another province, they have a good, memories about Newfoundland. All of them learn English here without English classes. They attend the customers, and our customers know when they come here, they will not have an expert speaking English. Oh, no, they will need to figure out. I mean, this is a collaboration. And they love it, and they like it. And when we go to shows and think, or even here in the store, when somebody brings somebody else, another friend, to buy a New Orlander, and people can tell the story. People is telling the story. People understand what they are buying. People understand where they are. And that, as an owner of business, that is the point. There is where you sell. People understand the why. What we do? We do hats. I mean, it's nothing sexy about that. And that is happening in Dragon's Den too. Like, okay, I will go to Dragon's Den national television to sell hats. Who will invest here? But it was like, no. If I am able to touch humanity here, they will feel it because they know the pain, because many of them are immigrants or their parents or their grandmother, and they know what it is. And if I am able to touch that humanity, they will invest in me. In ourselves, in our company. And that is what happened with every single client. And the experience of the women that are here, we are family, we are friends. And I always say I am not professional standard Canadian that is like, oh, you create relationship, but it's work. Yeah, but also I am Latin, so I like to go further. I like to learn about their. And if they have a house or not, I like to learn their process of immigration. I need to know, because that is translated in their performance of work. I cannot pretend that with a sewing machine, they will be healing and good. No, here is the story behind. I understand that, how I can help you. And for that, I need to go like deeper, and so far, I always tell all the employers, and I moved to New Orlander last year in October. How you can explain me that in 7 years, this company was thrive with me in a full-time job, raising 2 children, working in the weekends and in the nights? How happened? How you started at home with $360, and today we have a commercial space, we have 5 full-time employees, and how if I was working in another place? Well, I will tell you, thanks to my team. Because when you give opportunities to people, when you believe in people, they love this company as their company. This is their company. And they know that after them, which I hope, it's funny, for me, when they leave, I win. I win because or they started a business or they move to a place that value their past skills as a professionals, or I don't know, like it's for something better, right? So they know that a new woman will become after them, and that women could have a similar story like them. And we are creating a space for the ones that are coming, and I always tell them, like, this is not about you, that are to come in here, and we are preparing the space for them. We cannot fail them, and I feel that is the spirit, and that is what keeps us going every day.
That's amazing. I love hearing you. I love hearing you talk about your team and the closeness that you have. And it's more than just a place to work. Obviously, it's you're bringing folks in. You're giving people opportunity. But as you said, it's almost like a family. It's almost like an extension of who you are, and your beliefs are driven right into the business. And what it sounds like, whether you're selling hats or baby bibs or any of those kind of products, your drive to make it as accepting and welcoming, and hopefully providing space for these women who are coming in. And you said that most of them didn't speak English. You have a comfortable place. If you're learning English, it's okay. And hopefully it sounds like you're preparing them and giving them some skills as well, whether to start their own business or move on and do something else. So it sounds like you've found your people. I think when you're an entrepreneur, you need to find your people through your team and the ones that are supporting you. So I think that's pretty fantastic. You mentioned a little bit just now about being on Dragon's Den. And I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that experience of what it was like to, be asked or prepared to go on a show like Dragon's Den. It's, it's super well known. And anything that you wish that you had known more before you did the show, and anything that you feel like was wonderful about it, or that you got something out of it. So just curious about kind of that experience and how you prepared, and what you wish you would have known, and then anything that might have been good.
Yeah. So, well, listen. So I shared that I moved here in October last year, and but I decided to move to New Portlander in like month before that. I was an executive director to a non-for-profit, so my transition, I need to prepare a succession plan. It's not like, oh no, I will leave now. No. And so in that process to leave in the non-for-profit sector and move myself full-time to New Portlander, I thought, like, I need to do something big, because now I need to create my salary. And before that, instead, I share, I don't work full-time in New Portlander, so I didn't thought that was fair to pay myself when I was not part full-time in the team. And so I reinvest everything, like in hiring other people and delegate, of course, to grow the business. So when come this situation, I thought I need to do something big to move full-time to New Portlander and get the business to another stage. And appear an email, are you ready for Dragon's Den? And I was like, well, I think so. I think I am ready. It's funny because to learn English in the entrepreneurial and industry or system, whatever, I play a lot Dragon's Den at the time that I was sewing in the weekends and trying to learn the vocabulary. So I was a big fan, and I always thought, like, one day I will be there. This will be possible. And that is exactly what happened. I applied. Everything was so fast. And the process is really easy. You fill a form. I feel what catch them was, one, we are a for-profit social enterprise, and two, the story. They love the story. So we get engaged, and I am a person that I prepare myself in a way, like my philosophy is like, you will do, doesn't matter whatever it is in your human capacity. Mm. Anything that take in your human capacity, you will do it. After that, it's not your business. It's the universe, it's God, call it as you want, it's not your business. So to prepare, I create a Dragon's Den NL. So I thought, okay, I need to start to feel comfortable telling my pitch to people that I don't know, and they are experts. And so I create the Dragon's Den NL. So I choose different people that was expert in different areas, and they was not my friends. maybe they didn't know about me, and I wrote to them from LinkedIn or an email, whatever, Instagram, and say like, "Hi, I am Constanza. I will go to the Dragon's Den. Do you want to be my Dragon's Den nail?" like, like give me 10 minutes. My pitch needs to be 2 minutes, and you can give me feedback, and I pay for the coffee. That was all.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like, "Please, like I am so excited to be part of this." So I feel that is the first thing. Like I didn't hire a consultant, expert. No, this was pretty organic, works really well. And I met wonderful people that today they are part of my journey, and I learned so much. And then my friends and everything, I say like, listen, I am pretty focused right now. So I will not be a lot of available because I need to studying literally. I need to learn about numbers. I am a lawyer. I didn't see numbers for many years. I hate them. My husband spoiled me and he helped me in the accounting and everything. So now I will need to do it because I thought if I go, I will go alone. The company is mine. And if I go with a man next to me, even if it is my husband and I love him, and people used to think like, oh, he's the expert. Oh, he's the, and I was like, this was me. My family is part of this, but the one that saw until 5 a.m., the one that wake up at 5 a.m., and the one like was me with the support and help and love of my family. So if I go alone. So well, I go with them, but I was the one that was speaking, and I want to be the one that was like, what is your numbers, and know really well my numbers. So was prepare my past, my present, and my future in business, which is wonderful, which I will recommend to any entrepreneur to do, because what's real life, I need to do it under pressure. So what's beautiful. And yes, so I give all myself, and I am actually, when I saw the episode, I am really surprised of my delivery, like my communication. I don't speak English. When I am nervous, my English get trick something like that. And then my body, like my communication, my body, and I was so happy. I did everything that I can to do to be my best version, and I think I give it and was good. And so I enjoyed the process. I love it. I don't think it's nothing that I will change. And because, again, I did everything that I can in my human capacity. So it's nothing to regret or to say I would change that. I did everything.
I love it. I love it. Well, I watched your Dragon's Den episode, and you were fantastic. You were fantastic, and you had the little baby models kind of come out and kind of get ready and everything. So you were pretty fantastic at that, and I love that really decided to make sure that you were the person who was going to be the face and come out there and answer all the hot questions and the hard questions, because Dragon's Den is not usually easy. They're kind of waiting for you. I mean, they're rooting for you, but they're also kind of like waiting to get you. So being confident and getting out there and being prepared, that's super important. If you were going to recommend to any women entrepreneurs or immigrant women entrepreneurs some additional things around like pitching or telling your story, we run some programming at ONSIDE through the Start Now Incubator around telling your brand story, crafting your narrative. Is there anything that you would recommend to them on how to do that?
Yeah, so I have different tips. And maybe if your English is not great, just do it in your born language, and then you translate, then and memorize. Then I don't say the pitch in the way that should be, which is good because it's your own way and need to be natural. But you already absorb some keywords that you will use. And that give you confidence. Then don't be shy or feel shame. You need to tell your pitch to many people that you don't know and seek for feedback. I mean, feedback is a gift, right? And the other thing is, like, I talk a lot in the mirror. Like, I know everyone hates to hear your voice. And then, like, you are like, that is me. Like, and also see yourself talking. Sometimes it's like not comfortable. But I record myself and listen later. I hate it. Ugh, I did it again. Okay. And then in the camera, like in your cell phone, you can record yourself and see how you move the hands,
Mm.
and when you take the time, when you touch yourself, when you do this, and your hands can be up all the time, always giving. And I feel like that, as much as you practice, is the only way to feel comfortable. And I believe that whatever we do as an entrepreneurs is all the time go outside our zone of comfort. And it is uncomfortable, but you can create that zone of comfortable when you practice, and then it's not anymore a struggle,
Mm.
and then you see yourself and you feel proud about yourself. And you don't need to hire in again a consultant. Like, we are entrepreneurs, we don't have money. So and so you need to find the way, and that is the way, and that is how I did. I am really proud about, again, when I see myself, I am like, sometimes I saw the dragons and I am like, I will not go there, because it's real life. They can destroy you in national
Mm.
television. And when I was there, I was like, I hope to be the voice of many other immigrants that are watching this, and they can say, I can do it too, and I can be there too, and I don't need to have a sexy tech entrepreneurship. And no, we are sewing. We are in Newfoundland. I was not an expert, and here we are. So you can do it too. And so I feel, yeah, that is the best way to help yourself. I studying every single dragon, listen their podcast if they have any, learning about their life,
Mm.
to touch the point that was painful for them. Because
Mm.
again, you don't want the business, like, we manufacture baby accessories. Again, it's not sexy, and we are not a hot business. And but it is the story. Like, what can be more powerful of your story that is good, is unique, is authentic? Everyone want to hear it, everyone want to buy it, everyone want to gift a
Mm.
Newfoundlander hat, because you can tell a story too. And that is the value, that is the secret sauce.
Mm, I love it. I love it. This is very interesting to me because, we talk a lot at OnSide. We talk a lot about innovation and entrepreneurship and all these kinds of things. And you're running a social enterprise, a for-profit social enterprise, and you're doing all kinds of interesting, creative things with the people you're hiring and your products. But I'm really hearing in what you're saying about the power of your story, the power of telling that story and how it sort of elevated what you were doing and helped you to make your business even more than what it is, more beyond more than just the hats and the baby things and things like that. And it's really this has turned into a bit of this of a platform. Obviously, you got some policy changes. You're doing some other kinds of things. So it's really inspiring and interesting to hear you talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
What we talk just because I mentioned the around innovation, and it is something that we do talk about at OnSide, and it's something that's important across Canada. And a lot of women are a little nervous in their businesses to think about innovation. Is this something that you have thought about with your business, maybe like in your processes or how you hire or how you manufacture? I know you talked a lot about how you created, you started sewing and doing some things like that. Do you think about innovation when you're thinking about your business?
Well, yes, as an entrepreneur is part of the equation, right? But I believe that, first of all, you don't need to pretend. Okay, many people is like, oh, I am ahead, like a way of tech, like how I incorporate tech into a manufacturing with sewing machine. Which, by the way, one of the problem of like putting like robots and things is that if I do that, I will take away my social, like, so how I will do this? The innovation piece for me come from really basic things, that how is your process of hiring people?
Mm.
Like, I feel we are pretty innovative and pioneers in doing that here in this province. One example of that is like my job post, I take care that would be not have, for example, acronyms, because white people would be understand acronyms. What an immigrants could be understand, acronyms that is not
Mm,
inclusive. Okay, maybe I can do this and job post in English, which is welcome to everyone, but also in other language. So if somebody read like, oh, this job, why what is in Pashto? What is in Persian? What? Like, okay, it's in English. Because I hope that an African woman would be read it and would be say like, okay, this is for me. This is a call, you know. And then I ask in the interview, before the interview, like, do you need any support for the interview, kind of, and it's not a translator, it's not an instructor, it is a interpreter. You need an
interpreter.
interpreter for the interview. Yes, I need one, because I understand in the interview you want to express full yourself. If you don't have the language, how you will
Mm,
do that, how you will feel good about that. So if I want to see myself as an employer, the best version of that person in the interview, I need to create the space so that person can give the best, and language could be not a barrier.
mm,
So, and that kind of things that make, like when we hiring someone, it is any national day, tradition, cultural, religion day that I should be aware to make to to create that space in this company.
mm,
So the ones that have the religion, they are Muslim and they are fasting. I am like, okay, usually in your country, how you work with this, because you are not eating, you are in fasting. So you have an hour to eat. What do you do in that hour? And they was like, well, no, we don't eat. So we continue working. And then we take a little break, we continue working, and then we go before home early, and because we need to cook. Let's do it. Perfect. That sounds great to me. And
mm.
we have breakfast, in New Orleans there to talk about everything but not job. And when they are in fasting, it's like, hey, we will do a breakfast. If you want to go, great. If not, don't go, because we understand that you are doing fasting, it's hard. And so it's creating the space. And I believe innovation is not always about money and implementing a tech thing in your company. It is, okay, this is the rules, this is how works the system, this is how companies do the things every day, how I can do it differently.
Mm.
It is a way that, again, a small business, not a lot of money. So you can find a way to do the things differently, to be creative, to be innovative in the way, in the daily things, how to do things, from the beginning, from manufacturing. I will do it differently. I will do
Mm.
it in this and this way. In hiring, I want to do it differently. I don't want to, okay, I will do it in this and this way. The check-in meetings, the holidays. We give now, one of my team members, she's in Brazil, she's from Brazil, and she's there already for a month. I need to wait for already for a half month. I am in pain. But I'm so happy that she go home and she have a month and a half. It's fine. When I go to my home, I do the same. So that kind of things, you can figure out how to give that freedom, that space to other people that how they feel.
Mm.
That, and I have the life experience, and maybe that make a big ahead to other Canadians employers that they're done, but they might have somebody in their company that have a similar journey to apply this in their company, probably. And that is innovative.
Mm.
So let's go away of the tech, because everyone talk about tech. And yes, it is fully important. I use tech too in my company, but sometimes innovation is not 100% related to tech.
Mm.
Can be related to the basic,
Mhm.
in how you do things every day.
I love that. I love that. It's you have innovation for humans, innovation for
Yeah.
life, for humans. Yes. So we're always like, do all the tech adoption things, but what are
Hmm.
the other things? And I think actually, especially now, we've come out of COVID, and people are feeling very disconnected, from each other still. And so these things of creating community, creating space, creating opportunities to reconnect with your family in another country, or these kinds of things are super important, and probably help with we would say, use the words talent retention, but keep your team together, keep people productive, people invested in wanting to continue to make awesome new products and do cool new things. If people are connected, they feel like doing new things. If they're not connected, maybe not, maybe not so much. Well, what are some things you have on the go that are like happening? What are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to for Newborn Lander?
Okay, so breaking news, big news.
Ooh.
I cannot say yet where it come from, but because will be a press release hopefully soon. But Newborn Lander will be open a settlement employment program for refugee women. And we are looking for impact a large number of refugee women. We will provide innovative ESL classes. That is innovative because we'll be focused in industry. So it's manufacturing, it is selling, and it's not about the verb to be and the weather and Christmas and Halloween. That, to be honest, you don't get a job like that with that. So, and this would be English classes that will be help you to get the job. And this program will be have sewing classes. What I want is that working in the non-for-profit sector and with refugee women, many times what we offer to them, it doesn't solve the real problem. It's not that these women, many of them are not able to enter to the labor market. It is that they need to find their self first, kind of come back to their self, to trust, to be empowered, to believe that they are worth it. And with the experience of Newborn Lander and the non-for-profit sector can this big idea that we pitch, that we was here, somebody invest in our company to make it happen. So soon you will see here in Newborn Lander and a big program for a lot of refugee women, something that I always dream, but I always believe that can be only just in the non-for-profit sector. Now the private play a role. And Newborn Lander is one example of that. I believe in the social cohesion between private, the government, and the non-for-profit sector and the community. And I will not say that we will be successful. We will try. We are trying to be innovative and try something new. And the women that will be graduated from this program will become with a Newborn Lander refer. They will be working with us here. They will be training our sewing machine and making our products as well to be connected to the private sector and in selling, in manufacturing, in starting their own business. So that will be happen, and in the coming month we will start with the recruitment now soon. And when you believe, and sometimes I will tell you as the owner of a social enterprise, I believe that the system is not ready for me. Like if I go to the bank, okay, your sales are great, but where is your profit? Oh, well, I reinvested in people that nobody believe on them. Like, okay, but where is your profit? I like the profit, And I am a for-profit. I don't fit. And if we clap for social enterprise, sure, claps, awards, news, who cares? I don't pay the bills with that. So then it's nothing bill. When I say it's nothing bill for social enterprise, at least here yet, is because for the system, for a bank, or for grants, or for whatever, you need to be a not-for-profit. Or so why you don't have your profit if you are a for-profit? And it's like, yes, but we are here, and somebody is paying the true cost. And as a small business, I cannot pay the whole cost because we don't have that cash flow. And again, I didn't come to Newfoundland to sew hats and to be the women selling hats in Newfoundland. That is not who we are. We are here to make huge impact, and it's real. Some people is watching. Some people is watching you and what you are doing. And if they believe in you, they invest in your company. And I am excited for this opportunity. My dream from here, it is grow and move to another province and to another province and create this settlement employment program here for refugee and there and there and there. And the brand is everything is working. I believe that every Canadian, the appetite to have Canadian handmade things here is huge. Outside the country is higher for what Canada means. And I hope that people understand that what we sell is not just a hat, it is the values from the country, it is the hope for women, it is about the stories of women that come for freedom. And many times the system is not able to provide that. And if we can do it here, I mean, we will do everything to do that and to pursue that. So I am super excited.
Wow, that was amazing. I'm very excited about your new upcoming program that you're going to be running as you're part of your social enterprise focused on refugee women. I think that this is fantastic. I can feel your passion, and I really can't wait to see it let the rubber hit the road. Yeah, let the rubber hit the road on this work. I think it's fantastic. And in a lot of our programs too, we have a lot of immigrant women who are entrepreneurial. Actually, some of the most entrepreneurial women in Canada are immigrant or refugee women, which we talked about kind of out of necessity. So this is really fantastic. Constanza, I want to thank you for joining me today. If folks want to learn a little bit more about Newborn Lander or about you, what are some ways that people can connect and learn a little bit more about what you're up to?
Yeah, so well, we have a beautiful website, and which is in www.info.ca, newbornlander.ca, sorry. And there you will find our information and email in social. Follow us in Newborn Lander. Now come Christmas. So we hope to have the support of the community. We ship across Canada and also USA. So there you can find everything what we do. We customize a lot. We send letters if you need to send somebody a gift to other person in another place. We have everything set up, and to give you a good quality baby accessories handmade in Canada, but most important, to help all these women that are arriving to our country and provide them an opportunity and to reinvent themselves. So
awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, for our guests who have tuned in or who will tune in later, I want to, thank Constanza for joining us here today. To learn a little bit more about ONSIDE, you can go to our website, which is onsidenow.ca. Check out our Start Now incubator. Of course, like and subscribe to the podcast, and follow us on Instagram or wherever else you feel is appropriate for you in social media. And with that, we'll wrap it up for today, and we'll see you guys next time.
thank you so much.